Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. This site at the corner of Herbert Street and 2nd Avenue Northeast in Swift Current is a hub of activity as crews are busy constructing Dory's House, a new youth emergency shelter for Southwest Saskatchewan. Back in June, Mark Lamb announced his plans to step down as head coach and general manager of the Swift Current Broncos for a position south of the border. And now 1 month later, the WHL franchise has announced Emmanuel Viveris as the new head coach and director of player personnel. Here in Saskatchewan, 2016 is proving to be an overactive year for rabies, with twice the amount of positive cases reported in numerous animals. Thanks for joining us here today. Construction is well underway for Dory's House in Swift Current. However, funding is still required for its day-to-day operations. We find out more in our top story. This site at the corner of Herbert Street and 2nd Avenue Northeast in Swift Current is a hub of activity as crews are busy constructing Dory's House, a new youth emergency shelter for Southwest Saskatchewan. The project has become a reality through years of fundraising and numerous contractors and other suppliers from across the region stepping forward to donate their time and supplies to the project. And before the doors open later this year, the Southwest Youth Emergency Shelter Committee has one more hurdle to cross, finding the $500,000 in funding required to operate the shelter on an annual basis.
We've been informed by provincial government that there is not anything in the budget for us for this year, unfortunately, but we've also been told by government that they would like for us to continue to discuss with them to show them exactly the need that we're trying to meet, to sort of to be able to demonstrate them in quite precise terms exactly the need and who it is that's out there that's needing this type of facility. So we're continuing that discussion.
Hale adds that the Southwest Youth Emergency Shelter Committee has been able to accumulate funds through other sources of local fundraising to help open the doors later this year. However, the funds in the bank will only go so far for their day-to-day operations for staff and other expenses. And the group continues to hope the province will eventually step forward with financial assistance for a shelter which is unique to Southwest Saskatchewan.
There are other similar facilities in Saskatoon and Regina, but nothing that we've come across in a community of our size. There's a similar facility in Medicine Hat, which of course is a bigger community, but for a community of our size, this would be quite unique, and it's kind of groundbreaking to some extent in that way.
Once open, Dory's House will have the capacity to house up to 8 youth for a 30 to 90-day stay as they transition into more permanent housing. A shelter which is important to the community now and into the future.
We have such a great community here, a community who, people who look out for each other. And our view is that when there's a young person that's in trouble, that's at risk, that's something the entire community should be concerned about. When you see a young person who's out walking late at night, it might be because they don't have a safe place to go back to, and it's something that the whole community should be concerned about. And when we can help that young person now, if you can help a 15, 16, 17-year-old person now, the benefit for that young person and actually the benefit to the community down the road is enormous. Like the benefit to our healthcare costs and our justice costs and housing costs and social assistance costs.
Completion of the shelter construction is set for October, with staff in place and the doors open to homeless youth by the end of the year. Anyone wishing to assist the Southwest Youth Emergency Committee on a financial level can contact any board member or go through their website. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current and Standard Motors, along with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. As the Swift Current Broncos prepare for the upcoming season, they've introduced a new head coach. Back in June, Mark Lamb announced his plans to step down as head coach and general manager of the Swift Current Broncos for a position south of the border. And now, 1 month later, the WHL franchise has announced Emmanuel Viveros as the new head coach and director of player personnel. Viveros brings extensive experience as a coach in Europe with numerous professional teams in Germany and Austria, and on ice through his early days in hockey with the PA Raiders and the American Hockey League Springfield Indians, and is eager to tackle the challenges as a WHL coach in Swift Current.
What I want to do is continue to build and add to what Mark and his staff has done from previous years. We've left ourselves in a really good position right now, and it's our job as a team to even expand that this upcoming season here. We're going to have a team that's going to be very, very aggressive the way we play. We're going to come out. I'm a firm believer the way hockey has to be played nowadays. It's not just cliches. Don't stand around. We're going to be moving. We're going to be moving around at all times. We're going to be skating. We're going to be a physical hockey team, and we're going to be working hard every single night.
Board Chair Liam Chufu says Viveros is a great addition to the Broncos organization, following an extensive process which included 32 applicants, with Viveros at the top of the list.
We just kept getting the same answers, and it was consistent about the character, the quality of person he is, how personable he is, how he won't be outworked and his teams won't be outworked. And quite frankly, we also enjoyed the component he brings about the style of game that he's going to bring. We're going to be quick, we're going to be speedy, we're going to be aggressive, we're going to go after it. And it's going to be really entertaining hockey to watch. And at the end of the day, he's had success on the ice, but he sounds like he's just as good a person off the ice.
The board has also announced changes to the organizational lineup, with Viveros now taking on the role of head coach and director of player personnel. Jamie Porter as director of hockey operations, and Diane Sletton named director of business operations. Changes which will benefit the franchise as a whole.
But our vision is that these three will meet on a regular basis and discuss what's going on in their worlds, because really what's going on in Jamie's world is affecting Diane's world, is affecting Manny's world. And we want that kind of team ownership, all hunkering in together and working for the benefit of the organization.
Broncos training camp begins at the end of August, with the season opener set for September 23rd, as the Swift Current Broncos play host to the Saskatoon Blades. Positive rabies cases in animals are being reported across the province, and health officials are reminding you to take precautions. Rabies is a viral disease that causes acute inflammation of the brain in humans and other mammals, and is spread when an infected animal scratches or bites another animal or human. Here in Saskatchewan, 2016 is proving to be an overactive year for rabies, with twice the amount of positive cases reported in numerous animals, with no confirmed cases here in the Cypress Health region at this point in time.
So far, the animals that we've tested have not had rabies here, but are in surrounding areas in the rest of the province. We've had twice the number of animals testing positive, and anything from cats, bats, skunks, and some domestic animals that probably have been bitten by skunks, like baby sheep and goats, and even in some parts of the province from stray dogs. So there definitely is rabies around, and we know that a good number of bats are positive, and even in neighboring regions we've just had some recent positive results from bats that were tested.
Dr. Tour adds that your best defense against rabies is to ensure your pets are vaccinated and to never approach wild animals.
For parents of children, advise the children, to be careful with animals. Not every animal is friendly and could bite you. The other message would be for pet owners to make sure that their animals are up to date with the rabies vaccinations, because especially if they do go outdoors, because that protects them. Key here are animals such as farm dogs or farm cats, because they may go out and wander The cats might hunt down a bat, which might be positive. So if they're protected with the vaccinations, it's a much better situation.
And if you are bit by any pet, stray animal, or even a bat, seek medical attention immediately, as a series of tests will be required to determine a course of action for rabies treatment. More information on the risk of rabies in your area can be found online. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.